last time I saw you, you were a pretty angry guy.
I sure was. That's why I told you to take a vacation. You needed to get back to the grassroots.
Okay. You told me to take a vacation. When I left here, I just threw some camping gear into a station wagon and took off for nowhere. This is a wonderful place for a vacation, sure. But more than that, the grassroots, the real heart and hope of America, right here in the Middle West. Let millions see them and maybe understand this country a little better. It's something that millions of people feel right here, even though they may not say much about it.
Give me this kind of story about the people over there, the places over there. Warm human stuff.
What I've seen in the faces of these people, what's in their lives, their hearts, their hopes, their opportunities, that's something alive right here in the Middle West.
And now, on with the show.
I grew up in Virginia, in the Shenandoah Valley, on a farm. I wanted to work in the outdoors, but I didn't really know about the Park Service that much till I was in college. I went to the College of William and Mary and got a degree in biology. Through the summers, I worked in a variety of mostly heavy industry. I was a maintenance mechanic at a school bus factory. So I had all this access to tools. So I outfitted I think it was a 1968 GMC van as a camper, and I took off out west, traveled for about 5 months, camping in national parks, basically across the northern tier, down the Pacific coast, up through the Rockies. Saw many of the, not all of them, but many of the great national parks. I come back to Washington, D.C. It's the winter of 75, 76. I was broke. I crashed at my brother's place in Alexandria. I have skills, so I got a job immediately as a welder, welding aquarium frames at a factory. And my brother was working for the National Parks Conservation Association. He walked in one night and threw on my bed. He said, read this and write me a report. Typical older brother kind of orders. And it was the environmental impact statement for the expansion of the Jackson Hole Airport in Grand Teton National Park. And I said, so they're kind of threatened by this, you know, and so I talked to my brother about it. He said, well, you should think about applying for a job with the Park Service. Really what I was thinking about at the time was going back to grad school and pursuing an advanced degree in biology. And, you know, he literally said, you know, don't go off and, you know, study the life history of the liverwort. He said, you need to go do something that has an impact. And he said, you could do that in the Park Service. I applied for a seasonal job. I got hired as an 026 GS4, maybe 3, park technician at the Bicentennial Information Center on the mall, and I never looked back. Worked for the Park Service for 37 years.
What do you do?
Work in Washington, D.C. With an extraordinary team of associate directors. I work directly for the Secretary of the Interior and have responsibility for this agency of 25,000 employees and 80 million acres that happens to be in 18 time zones and responsible for the nation's most beautiful places and most important cultural heritage. I'm John Jarvis. I am the 18th Director of the National Park Service.